welcome to another episode of Veterans View. And my name is Leroy Davis, and I'm a retired Navy Chief Petty Officer. And today we're at Post 35, American Legion, here in Columbus, Georgia. And I have the Georgia Department of the American Legion Commander with me, Mark Streves. Mark, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
And today we want to talk about the American Legion. We have the National Commander here visiting. And tell us a little bit about his visit first.
Yeah, so we have the National Commander here for about 5 days, and we've been traveling across the state of Georgia, delivering the message about veteran suicide, about the different legislation we have, but ultimately about taking care of each other. As veterans, that's our primary goal, is to care for veterans and their families.
And that's great. And now the American Legion, I know, is still the largest veterans organization in the country and possibly the world, correct?
Yes, and even here in Georgia, we're already back to pre-COVID levels on membership. And we continue to see newer, younger veterans join our organization, as well as our veterans here in Georgia renewing their membership.
And that's great. Plus our families. Our families are joining.
Yes, and we have the American Legion family has the American Legion Auxiliary. We have American Legion riders that travel around with us on their motorcycles, and we have the Sons of the American Legion, which they support us 100% in what we're doing, and it's just a legacy of family in the American Legion.
Now, Mark, you've been in office for 1 year and you're getting ready to go out. Tell me, what was the commander's message for the state of Georgia?
Oh, absolutely. It was people, process, and technology. Just like in any organization, you have to continue to improve. So we talked about people, and we said, Georgia's known for its hospitality, and that's what we're going to continue to be known for in American Legion, is not only just being a Legion post, but being hospitable and welcoming guests and new members to our posts. And this is the one thing I said: when a new member or a new person walks in, when they walk out, they should have 10 new friends. And that's what we talked about on people. On the process, we wanted to challenge everything that we were doing under the process, so that if we're doing something that maybe not right or maybe just a little aged, then we wanted to fix it and move on. And lastly, technology. We just brought in some brand new technology on mylegion.org. You can go to it on legion.org and get all the information you need about any program in the American Legion.
And that's great, because one thing I do as a life member of the American Legion, want people to know that they can go to legion.org and hit a list all of the states in the United States, and you can go down to Georgia and click on it, and you can see everything that the Department of Georgia is doing.
That's right.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Mark?
Well, here in Georgia, the one thing that we're real excited about was what happened yesterday, the signing of the military retirement exclusion bill. That's been worked on since 1977, and we were able to be present with the governor yesterday when he signed that bill. A long time coming, and it really puts us on a level playing field with the other states like Alabama.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
But, we need to take care of our veterans and their families, and that puts more money in their pocket.
And when did that take effect, Mark?
That took effect yesterday when he signed the bill.
So veterans, you should be happy you don't have to pay Georgia state tax
Well,
anymore.
I won't say we won't have to pay. There's some exclusions.
Okay, some
read
exclusion.
The bill. Read the bill.
Okay, well, Mark, thank you for this
Thank
interview,
you.
and
Yep.
we look forward to talking to you again before you get out of office.
Okay, thank you.
As a veteran, you know teamwork. When your team needs help, you're always there. You're ready for any and everything. But asking for help for your mental health and well-being is sometimes not as easy. That's why VA is on your team, to help you take that first step, to connect with doctors, counselors, and other veterans who have had similar experiences. Visit www.mentalhealth.va.gov and learn more about taking the next step.
We're here with the National Commander of the American Legion here at Post 35. And Commander, tell us something about this week, how it's going for you.
This week's been great visiting Georgia. I've been here, a couple of times before, see a lot of friends, meeting new friends. And the hospitality's been great. and the food's been wonderful.
Food's been wonderful. Well, now that we got that out the way, I want to ask you about your travels this year. I'm a life member of the American Legion, and I know that the National Commander has to do a lot of travel. So tell the veterans out there and the citizens about all of the places, or some of the places, you've been this year.
Well, I've been to all of the states except 13. Let me put it that way instead of trying to list them.
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, I leave on June the 1st, or really May 31st, going to Europe. And I'll be over in Europe for about 2 weeks visiting over there, bases and different installations and some of the posts with veterans. And I'll also visit Normandy.
Yes, sir.
And, our first trip out this year was 58 days. This trip is supposed to be 53 days. And we've had some 45s and 48s, 42s. It'll be about 330 days or thereabouts out of 365.
Well, we know you're a busy man, and I just want to ask some questions because being that we've been in COVID and everything, have you got to visit many VA hospitals this year?
We've a select few. They've been some VA hospitals, of course, with the restrictions and wanting to keep our veterans safe and all. We understand that, but we've got to visit with some of the directors. In fact, one in Mississippi came and met with us on Sunday and spent a great deal of time with us. And we knew we couldn't visit it, but he was willing to come in. It was great. He answered a lot of questions for us. Now in Louisiana, in New Orleans, we did visit with the director there, and he took us around to some of the veterans' beds. And it was restricted area. You could walk so far into the room, but that was good. And of course, we have got to visit very many VA homes, state homes, and things of that nature. And we just wish we could have been in more VAs. And I was also in El Paso's VA hospital. So it's been pretty good with the restrictions. I can understand that, and we want to keep our veterans safe too.
Well, Commander, I didn't get you to say your name, so if you would you say your name for us now, please?
I'm Paul Dillard. I'm from the state of Texas, National Commander of the American Legion.
So, state of Texas, do you have any connections where I can get me some of those big T-bones they have out there?
You betcha, $100 a piece, I can handle it.
$100 a piece.
Now, I would like to mention one thing to
Yes, sir.
viewers, that if I could.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
I'm really on a hot to trot campaign, and so are my 5 national vice commanders as we travel the states. We're asking everyone to contact their senators, your 2 senators, and ask them to support and vote yes on the Pact Act of 2021, the Pact Act, P-A-C-T. It's very important. The biggest thing, as far as I'm concerned, out of that, it'll be the most comprehensive, toxic bill ever passed out of Congress. And our young men and women that served over there in the Gulf War and the global war on terrorism, the burn pits, they are suffering now from respiratory disease and also cancers, and we have got to get this benefit to them, and it's time now to get it passed. We need it on the floor. Call for a vote, and I ask all senators to support our young men and women. It goes deeper than that, but we don't have enough time to talk about it. You can research it. The Pact Act, P-A-C-T, honoring the Pact Act.
Well, I know they can go on legion.org, correct?
Yes,
and then
sir.
read about the Pact Act.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I know Commander Struhl from the Department of Georgia have already invited you, but I know you probably won't be able to come. We have a brand new clinic that's opening up here in Columbus on River Road.
I heard you were
State of the art.
Right.
And
That's
so,
great. Hope it is women friendly.
oh yes,
I hope it has all of the women, because we're pushing issues for the women's specialty clinics.
well that's what this one has. It has
That's what I
everything
thought,
for the
but I
women
hope
for the
it is.
specialty clinic.
Now we got to let the women veterans know that we have these facilities that we are tailoring for them in their specialty, because by 2042 we'll have over 2.2 million women veterans, over 20%.
So my last question for you, because I know you're time sensitive, is how's membership this year?
Membership this year is good. Right now, at the pace we're on, we will be the first year since 2010 that we have not failed in membership.
Oh, great.
So it's going good, and Georgia's doing great.
Oh, always. Georgia is always
To
doing
all
great.
the listeners, join.
Georgia is always doing great, and we want the veterans, and we want their wives, and we want their sons and their daughters to join the American Legion.
Let me tell you, folks, you 2021s out there is about 5,900 of you that have not renewed in Georgia this year. Call your folks, get on to them for not contacting you, and join the American Legion. We need all voices to make our voice louder in Congress for our veterans. If we don't take care of it, nobody else will.
And look who's joined us here today on the Veterans View Show, Commander Stringer of Post 35. Are you happy today that you have a visitor from the National Commander?
I am elated.
Tell us something about how your week has been and preparing and getting ready for today.
It has been a joyous time for us because this is a once in a lifetime for me as being in my position as one of the second female commanders of this post.
Okay.
So it's been amazing to have him here during my tenure.
So what all were you thinking about when you got that call that said the National Commander was coming to your post?
I was giddy. I was excited. Like this is amazing. This is a great feeling. This is something that is once in a lifetime.
But that's what we want. Strong women to do what you are doing. Now tell us something
honor.
that you want to tell people, and especially here in Columbus, about membership for your post.
Well, I will speak about membership for all of our posts. How about that? Can I do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Join any American Legion. It is an honor to be a part of the American Legion. It was founded in 1919 by all races. And it's a beautiful thing to continue to carry that torch throughout the years. So when I say join the American Legion, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It has been an honor to serve after serving.
And the American Legion, like other veterans organizations, we are all about veterans.
Yes.
So, you know, you and I have worked together for quite some time, and we love taking care of veterans.
Yes.
So give that big hoot out for the Navy.
Hoorah!
All right. All right. Thank you, Commander, for coming, and thank you for inviting us to be here to visit with the National Commander
Thank you,
and the
Past
Department Commander. All right.
Howdy, folks. Before I get too far here, I got to recognize at least three people. One's my aide from Austin, Texas, Walter Island. I got a little story I'll share with him. We've been on some pretty good jaunts as we traveled throughout this nation. One of them was a 58-dayer. This is a 53-dayer. Next one's 48. We've got some 40-something others. But that 58 was the longest we had. And so days all run together. So one day we was in the airport and was going through and I said, what day of the week is it? And he started getting his phone. I know he said day of the week, but I thought he was looking day of the month. I said, not day of the month, day of the week. I said, oh, never mind. There's a Chick-fil-A and it's closed. Must be Sunday. You know, so we figured out, yesterday was Saturday, tomorrow will be Monday, and the other four didn't really matter. We was just curious what day it was that day. Two other people in here I'd really like to introduce. She's already been introduced. Lynn Rollins, who was Department Commander when I was National Vice Commander. Lynn, great job, girl, always good to see you. And of course, she might call him her bitter half, as my wife does, but her husband, second wife, and really, Raymond, good to see you. So good to see you. And it is. There are several friends I have here in the state of Georgia, and it's been great to go back through and see some and visit and meet you. You know, it is. It's great. But as you heard, my theme is not only a theme. It's an agenda. An agenda that I think all the American Legion family should work toward, abide by, and perform. Because it is so much of what we do in the organization as far as service and buddy checking. That's what it's all about. And when I say no veteran left behind, I'm talking about a veteran. I'm not talking about a legionnaire. They don't have to be a dues-paying legionnaire for us to check on in the budget check. So a veteran's a veteran, and that's what it's got to be, right, brothers and sisters. So we can reduce this veteran suicide. And we can do it even with buddy check. It's so important to contact those guys and gals. The last couple of years especially have been very, very difficult on many people. But especially some veterans at the worst time. Whether they're suffering from PTSD or other things. You know, they could be sitting at home all that time with some of the quarantines. Loneliness, the isolation, depression. All of these start setting in. That phone call you make may be the perfect time. And maybe we can save that life. We've got to save them one phone call at a time and be the one to save one. And we can do it. There's so many good things we've heard this year from buddy checks. Some is, like the veteran said, I need someone to help me get to my doctor's appointment next week. Or they need someone just to go pick up a prescription or a couple of things from the store, or maybe just some minor house repair. But one of the most important conversations I think we had and we heard about was this gentleman contacted this veteran on a buddy check. Bottom line, the veteran said it was so good to hear another veteran's voice on the other end of the line. Made his day. That's what's important, is check on our buddies. You serve with someone across the state line, another state, call them, check on them. See how they're doing. If we could reduce veteran suicide to our non-serving peers, we could save in excess of 3,600 lives. Now that's big. We can only do it one life at a time, one phone call at a time. So be the one to save that life. Don't be afraid when you're talking on the phone. Listen, we're not spies, we're not professionals, but don't be afraid or concerned about asking them. Are they thinking about hurting themselves, or are they even considering suicide? Because they'll tell you. And you know, at the weakest point a person can get probably during these last couple of years is due to the fact they got a family and maybe they lost their job or they got a less paying job. And so they really feel worthless towards their family. And they wonder, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Their life's worth it. They're not thinking about how many lives that will really affect. The spouse, the children, the moms, the pops, other family members. It affects many, but that's not on their mind. Your phone call can make the difference. Ask them to give you 15 minutes, 1 hour, or 1 day until we can give them professional help. And call that veteran suicide hotline, 1-800-273-8255, and then press 1. And be the one to save them. And we can reduce veteran suicide. One phone call and one life at a time. They're all not at risk, but we never know who is. Keep up the good work. Many of you are doing it. Appreciate it. I'd like to talk about that next generation of veterans. Some of them went through very hard times recently. They've got 20 years of war that went on, and now they're out of there and without a final end, a final result. And they begin to wonder, was it worth it? Because of the brothers and sisters they've lost, or injured, mangled, for life. And they wonder. But when you see them, you make sure you tell them, thank you for your service, because it was worth it. While they were over there, we were safe here. while they were over there, there was never a major terrorist attack on the United States of America. Their service was working. And let me tell you folks, that's who's going to run that next generation who's going to take this organization into this next century. Because a mission will never be complete. Freedom is not free. Freedom is not free. We will always have veterans. There will always be problems throughout this world. And we've got to take care of our veterans. But that bunch of veterans are very, very energetic. They're family oriented, they're community. They love to do things that also encompasses their family. They like to be active, whether it's 5K runs. We just had a team up in Boston that did a 26.5 mile run. It ain't for me, folks. I didn't even want to walk to the other end of the deal to the Buffalo shoulder. That's way down there. That's enough for me. That wasn't even halfway. But let me tell you, that's what they are. They are concerned about their communities. They want to be involved. They're naturally concerned about their family, their jobs. They want to be involved. But we need to get them in here while there's still some of us around that they can lean on and ask a question. Let them do the job. Give them enough rope. Just don't give it too tight. Got to rein them in, but just have to mentor them, in other words. And they will do a great job. I've got all the confidence in the world in it, because I was there once. Those World War II guys, they snapped the whip. They said, "Pup, we'll tell you when we want something." And that's the way it was. It was their way or the highway. We're not that way today. So they was rough. And I really enjoyed the mentoring I got through the years. I think that's kind of what made me get here. I know you heard all that stuff. I did this, did that. But for the reason I done all that, they couldn't find a job I could do. They just kept putting me somewhere else. And look, boy, it really got me in trouble. Got me right up here. But I tell you what, it is so enjoyable to go around this nation and see you folks. Some people say, "Don't you get tired?" That's not, you get there like, we got to get up 3 o'clock in the morning, so we go catch an airplane. But I tell them, I said, "Listen, I've got the best job in the world. I get to go around the nation, meet people, talk about the American Legion." And I said, the best part of it is when I come into a post of legionnaires, I just get all bubbled up because, listen, y'all are true Americans. And what y'all do is what allows me to do what I get to do in an organization. And I just want to thank you for it because it's y'all that do it. It's not me. It starts at grassroots, and you do a very good job of it. I want to talk about a couple of things. I'm not going to, they told me I had an hour and a half because some people had an acre. I said, "Oh." They said, "Well, 45 minutes. And I said, 45 minutes? They said, "No, 4 or 5 minutes. I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "I'm from Texas. I can take a 4 or 5 minute speech and make it 45. It don't matter." But I do want to share some things with you because you're important, and it's important you know some of these things that's happening in Congress in D.C. right now, Washington, D.C. We've got a very, very important bill that's passed the House, and it's now in the Senate, and it's called Honoring Our Pact Act of 2021. You can live at 20. But Honoring Our Pact Act. That bill can be the largest, it will be the most comprehensive toxic bill ever passed in Congress. Starting on one end of the war on terrorism, the Gulf War, and it backs on down to clean up Lejeune, these camps. It even backs into Agent Orange. But the primary thing about this is the health care that our young veterans need for burn pits, the toxic exposure. We've got them right now that's got respiratory disease. They got cancer. We've got to get this bill passed so we can get these folks the health care benefits that they've earned. We can't wait another 40 or 42 years like we did with Vietnam. I had too many buddies that got lost because of that. We've already had people dying, stage 4 cancer, right now. It is from burn pits. I need you, the American Legion needs you, the veterans need you to contact your 2 senators, ask them to get this bill on the floor and vote for the bill. They wrote the check 20 years ago. It's time to cash the check. Absolutely. That's how simple it is. But do that. It doesn't matter if they're supporting it, okay? We need them to know the American Legion paying attention. We are the largest veteran service organization in the nation. The next time, maybe it won't be something they're supporting, but they still need to hear from the American Legion. Because guess what? You have to come back to the district, you got to come back to the area, and who votes? Veterans are the largest voters around. They do not want to disappoint you. You know, if they do, tell them, you support the veterans, we'll do our best to support you. If you can't support the veterans, I probably can't support you. Pretty simple. So, but call in, because they'll feel good about it if they're supporting it. Said American Legion, make sure you tell American Legion folks, whatever, 35 from, Columbus or wherever you're from, make sure you state that. Because we need to flood those offices, and it does matter when the congressman hears. American Legion really called, and they won't support for this, they won't support for that. It matters. So do that. Help our veterans. Another one that we've been kicking around since about 2017, which I like, it's waiving the means test for World War II veterans for health care. My goodness. If they're not in the health care system now, heck, they probably won't be. Maybe long-term care would be the other expense. Here's the difference. There was 16 million of them come home. Today, we've only got about 230,000 alive. And we're losing them at 300 a day. By this time next year, we'll be lucky to have 110,000. You know, we did this in 1996 for our Spanish-American War and World War I veterans. It's time we do it for World War II veterans. Now, on Thursday, before my testimony, on March 8th, I got word, because it came out of the Senate in October. Yeah, it came out of the, when I say that, I'm talking about the Veterans Affairs Committee. Not the whole Senate, not the whole House, but out of committee. It came out in October out of the Senate Committee. The House, it came out the week before I testified, during that week before it was passed out of Veterans Affairs Committee. I thanked the committee while I was there, and I said, you know, you got part of the mission accomplished. Those folks need to know what a grateful nation we are for their service back then, while there's still some here to know it. They know what we've done in 1996. And yes, I started figuring that 1996 back to World War I. 77 years. 2022 back then. 77 years. So you're darn right. It's time. It's time to do it. And so we need to do that so they can know we are a grateful nation for their service. Throw that out there to your representatives and your senators when you talk. Get that in. There's others. I can't take time to do all of that. You know, we've got several women veterans, bills in there where we're talking about creating specialty clinics for mammograms, maternity, child care. Very important. Because right now, about 11% of our veterans are women. In 2042, we're estimating that 20% will be veterans, and that's about 2.2 million. So we got to get the clinics up to speed, and I think you got a new one here that's going to have this in it. But we got to get that word out to our women veterans and let them know that we are improving, and they need to start using these clinics. Best health care in the world, best I can. So consider that. Now I'm not going to talk much about membership because Georgia's doing good. You're doing good in membership. But as I talked about these other things, you know, the more the numbers, the louder our voice is in Congress. The Congress just made a statement the other day. The American Legion always brings a good message. We don't try to tell those folks what to do. We try to give them enough information that they can make the right decision for our veterans. That's what we do. And we've been fortunate over the years that we get some of that. Sometimes it takes too long. That's the reason we cannot wait on the Pact Act. We got to have it now. Got to have it now. That's how simple it is. Talk to your senators. You know, but on your membership, your new membership is in excess of 6%. That's great. 5% is what you got to have every year. 3% is the bottom magic number, but 5% is a real deal. And you're on top of that. You're beyond that. So that's great. You signed up over 2,200 new members this year. Probably for all in close to 2,300, what we've done this week. We've signed up quite a few. You know, just got to ask. If you don't ask, you'll never know. Best thing is, are you a veteran? Then, you ask if they're an American Legion. Go from there. But that part's good. Here's the only bad thing that I really see, and it's not just in Georgia. You have over 5,900 2021 members that have not renewed in 2022. That's our problem. That's all of our problem. There's many people that are not going to renew just by getting a renewal from national because nobody's going to post a contact. You know, there's those folks that don't really come to meetings and all. They're busy with their families, jobs, and stuff like that, but they want to support the organization. But then it comes to a point that I must not be important because I don't hear from them. They sure got to me whenever they wanted me to join, but I never from them since. Personal contact. And I know y'all done a lot of good things for that, but you got to be consistent. You've got to go after it. You've got to go after it every day and contact those folks. And we will grow. We have got the first opportunity since 2010 to not decline in membership during the pandemic period of time. We have declined every year over the year previous. We've got the best opportunity not to decline this year because of y'all. Keep up that good work. Keep up that good work. I'm not going to take my full hour and a half, but I do need to talk about my special project this year, and that's the Veterans and Children's Foundation. That was started in 1924-25 by a national commander out of Washington State. In that year, in 1925, they raised $5 million. That's about $75 million today. So it's taken care of us over the years. About 3 years ago, we knew we needed to start building that fund back up because we had to spend money on it. Well, we set a goal of $25 million. We sent our information to all departments, kind of said, if you can, here's what we need to look at. Well, this year my goal is $2 million. $1 per member I thought would be pretty good. And so far it's worked real well. In fact, the sons of the national commander of the Sons of the American Legion, he committed $500,000 for them. Real deal. Well, we just kicked off our 3rd annual 100 Miles for Hope Challenge, which has been very successful the last 2 years. And Henry has done a great job with it, and he does a great job. And so I said, well, what are you looking at? And he said, Commander, we've made our goals in the past. And he said, I really think with improvements on this, we can do $450,000. I said, Henry, I'm going to believe you. Go for it, buddy. And he'll do it. Between him and Jeff Stokes and some of those folks up there, they'll get her done. So that's really basically $1 million. So we're going to get there. You know, there's so many ways. And you can do it on your phone and all that stuff that I don't understand. But you can do it on your phone and so, you know, I told people, here's what I'm going to do if I ever get to go home for more than one day. Or next time I'm home. I'm going to get my next door neighbor. See, I'm the only dog my wife can keep. So I'm going to get my dog's next door neighbor and I'm going to put her Fitbit around that dog and I'm going to get on my golf cart. I'm going to ride around the golf course and I'm going to ride around the lake. And then when I get back home, I'm going to take that Fitbit off and I'm going to put it on the wrist. And I said, now get on that treadmill. You may get live. My next statement will probably be, baby, if you'll put down that baseball bat, I'll get out and remove this baby. So I got to be careful. But you know what's said in Georgia stays in Georgia. Okay? Okay. All right. But really and truthfully, let me tell you what that foundation does, Veterans and Children's Foundation. That's where we train and accredit our veteran service officers to work with so they can work with our veterans and get the benefits, file claims, and do what's needed. The best of the best. Our service officer accreditation and training, many other organizations won't get, and so we allow it, because it'll be for all veterans. So it is the best, but that's what we do. Then it's also used for disabled veterans or families in need, and that's where we also have our temporary financial assistance for veterans with children that may run up on hard times, where we give them grant money to keep that family together, to pay some bills, maybe some medical bills, maybe rent, something to help them over, just over time to get them by. We want to keep that family together. And that's also where, back in 2019, we got money to pay the Coast Guard. You know, in 2019, when we had the government shutdown, Coast Guard didn't get paid. They're under Homeland Security, not Department of Defense. So they did not get paid. The American Legion gave $1.2 million to E5s and below with children to get them through that time. But you gave them that money. But there's no reason, and we do have a bill here called Pay the Coast Guard Act, and there's no reason that we can't get it done, because during every major war, every president of the United States assigned the entire assets to the U.S. Navy. So we can get it on the other side of the fence, ever how they want to figure it out, so that they don't run through this time and time again. Because, you know, it don't make mama very happy if you're not bringing in money. They don't have a place to sleep. They don't have food. They get tough. That's the reason we stepped up to help E5 and below. And we'll do it again, we have to. And you are the folks that allowed us to do that. I want to thank you for that. So, in closing, I'm going to have to quit, because I could stay up at the sunset. I got to get up early. So I'd just like to say, God bless each and every one of you. Be safe. God bless men and women serving uniform today. And God bless America. Thank you.
seated. If you have any gifts, proclamations that you'd like to present to the National Commander, please come forward.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let me just say how proud I am as the representative of this post and of this 2nd Congressional District to have the National Commander here at this time, at this place. Let's give him another round of applause. It is indeed an honor and a privilege for us to have the National Commander of the American Legion here in our midst. He is the leader of thousands and thousands of legionnaires. And my fellow legionnaires, we owe a great debt of gratitude to him for his leadership and the leadership of every department in every state for what you do for our comrades. When the American Legion comes to Washington, Congress listens. You heard what the agenda is. The House got the visits, got the information, and wanted to make sure we got it done before the commander got there. So our job now is to get the Senate to move. And Mr. Commander, we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming here on behalf of the 730,000 people of the 2nd Congressional District of Georgia, and on behalf of the 435 members of the House of Representatives and the 100 members of the Senate, I want to present to you, I can't give you a key to the city, but I can present you the certificate of special congressional recognition with Mr. Paul E. Dillard, National Commander of the American Legion, in recognition of your outstanding achievement, service, and public distinction. It is on the occasion of your visit to Columbus, Georgia, on behalf of your administration of the American Legion. Service is the rent we pay for the space we occupy on the earth. Sir, you have paid your rent, and you've paid it well. So I present to you this certificate. God bless you. God keep you. God keep the American Legion.
We have the Honorable Sanford Bishop. Congressman, would you like to tell us what you thought of today's visit?
I thought it was outstanding. You know, any group of legionnaires, every department, every state is honored and privileged to have a visit from the National Commander of the American Legion. The American Legion does so much for so many and has done it for so long, and to have the leader, the national leader that comes to Congress and leads thousands of legionnaires all over this country in efforts in behalf of our veterans. We are very, very, very proud and very pleased to have it.
And we want to thank you for those words, but we also want to thank you for everything that you do for veterans, being on the Veteran Affairs Committee. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Well, I'm just going to say, like Randy said, when you signed up, our country wrote a check. And it's up to us to make sure that that check never comes back from our insufficient funds. We want to make sure that you get every single benefit that you earn and which you entitled. Freedoms that we enjoy here in the United States of America, the greatest country on the face of the earth, are not free. Somebody had to pay the price, and that price is paid day in and day out, generation to generation, our veterans. So we owe a great deal of gratitude. By God, I'm gonna make sure that as long as I'm there, we're gonna make good on it.
But we thank you, Congressman, and I want to thank you for what you do for us, the veterans. I am a veteran, and I am a life member of the American Legion.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for what you do for us.
I'm a veteran, and I'm a member of the American Legion.
Thank you, sir.
All right.